Hello everyone and welcome to this Meet the Speaker video. I'm here today with Marc Anderson. How are you doing, Marc?
I'm great, Vlad.
Awesome. Can you do a quick introduction about yourself?
Sure. My name's Marc Anderson. What is it? Is there anything interesting about me? You know,
I'm sure there is. If not, I'll have to ask a lot of questions to find out. But I'm sure we'll find something at the end.
I was born in the 1960s. Let's see.
I'm not going to make any joke about that.
No. I've been doing SharePoint for a really long time. I love SharePoint. I love this community. I've really sort of put my career around this ecosystem now, and I'm planning to do it until I can't do it anymore. I have a company up in Boston called Sympraxis Consulting. I've got 3 other great people working with me: Julie Turner, Todd Clint, and Derek Cash Peterson. We're having a lot of fun. It's neat to grow a little bit and add some new dynamic to our team.
Awesome.
So we're having fun.
Seeing you've been doing SharePoint for a long time, when did you start?
Well, I actually can claim that I saw Tahoe. Like,
okay.
I actually went out to Redmond when I was working at KPMG, and we met with the folks who were starting to build what turned into SharePoint.
Okay.
In 1999.
So you've been doing SharePoint for 20 years now.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen SharePoint.
Yeah.
In one form or another for 20 years.
Right.
What keeps you excited to work with the same technology in a way?
Well, so one of the reasons that I got excited about SharePoint in the first place was that I did a bunch of knowledge management consulting back in the 90s.
Okay.
Mid-90s, I started working for a little boutique consulting firm where we were half business, MBAs, and half techies.
Okay.
And so we were talking, we would work with clients to build them a balanced scorecard, but also come up with a way to measure the things in their organization that were important to that scorecard, yeah. Right? And so when I saw SharePoint, it's like, oh my God, we've been building this thing for specific clients or something. We weren't building SharePoint, but we were building things like it. And so it just seemed like the natural progression to what I'd been doing for quite a few years ahead of it. So what I love about SharePoint is that it's not one thing. It's not a constant thing. It's not like if it's been 20 years, every year is different.
Especially now. Yeah. Every month is different almost.
Well, yeah, and I love to learn. I don't like static anything. I like things to change. I get bored if things stays constant, which is part of the reason I'm a consultant, because
you don't want to be at the same exact desk.
Yeah, I mean, I've had so-called real jobs. I worked at Staples for 4 years in the headquarters, and I actually liked a lot about that job. But I like the more variety and seeing things change, which is what's really fun about the whole SharePoint ecosystem.
Awesome, and you've also been speaking at events for quite a long time.
Yeah,
a
long time. I think. Actually, SP TechCon in 2011 was the first conference I spoke at, if I remember correctly.
So you started directly with a big conference.
Yeah, I
not a user group, not a Saturday.
I have no idea why they let me in. It's like, well, that was the first conference, but
okay.
I spoke at a couple SharePoint Saturdays. I know that I spoke at Boston. I think that's sort of the natural progression, right? You maybe speak at a user group,
then Saturday,
and then SharePoint Saturday, and then maybe you say, well, but I've spoken at a couple SharePoint Saturdays. Hey, Mr. Conference Guy, can I speak at your thing? And not everybody wants to do that, but I found that I really like the speaking. I like being at the conferences because I get to go to the sessions and I get to learn more.
Do you get to go to the sessions?
Oh, absolutely. I make a point to go to as many sessions as I can.
I really need to get better on that. I haven't attended one session.
No. Well, you've been doing these.
Yeah, I've been doing some videos.
Yeah.
I also have the Valor boot I need to take care of sometimes.
Right.
But I really need to schedule time. There's so many of them I want to see.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's like, oh, we have many people there. Hey, somebody else has a meeting or work happens.
Well, the good thing is, as a speaker, you get to know all the other speakers.
Yeah.
And so you know which speakers you enjoy seeing. You know who presents what topics well. So, I go out of my way, and I try not to bring my work with me when I come to a conference. That doesn't always work, but I do try to spend.
Try to.
Well, and also just wandering around the hallways, talking to people about what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could maybe sell some business out of it, but the really important thing to me is understanding what people are up to, what are they struggling with, how are they thinking about what's going on in their environment, and trying to lots of times connect people with each other. Like, oh, you know what's weird? I was just talking to somebody about this. He's over there.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys talk to each other? Because that's half
builds
the battle.
that local connection, local community.
Well, and this is a community. You know, we all like to help each other out.
And talk about bigger conferences. You've attended a few SharePoint conferences yourself, right?
Yeah, I think I've been to, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. I couldn't possibly count.
You stopped counting?
Yeah, I mean, initially just as an attendee.
Okay.
And you know, you get that many SharePoint people together, and it's of course a great thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to speak again this year in May.
In May in Las Vegas.
What are you going to talk about? I'm sure it's about dev topics, so how to break SharePoint.
Actually, no.
What?
You know, it's interesting. I do write code, but I also focus a lot on information architecture. So
Okay.
I'm going to talk about how we manage content types in modern SharePoint. What are our options? How can we create some sort of coherent information architecture with the new tools that we have?
Awesome. I was not expecting that. If I had to guess what Mark is speaking on, I said something to do with JavaScript, something to do with...
It's funny because, you know, the real developers think that I'm a hack, and the real, like, business people think that I'm a hack. So I just, like, hang
somewhere
out in the middle.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And a big party of SPC has always been the party. So I'll ask you a trick question.
All right,
Who do you
trick
think
question.
is going to be at a party this year?
Who's going
gonna be like the main event?
Like the event, like entertainment
Yeah.
stuff. Well, that's a
I
good
mean,
question.
everybody is hopefully the answer to that question.
I really loved the B-52s last year. That was so fun because it took me right back to college. Yeah, I remember when they were first famous. That's a great question. It's interesting because it's always like somebody who sort of seems washed up but isn't really. So, you know, like Eddie Money would be a good one.
I don't know. Well, I'm awful at music already.
And you
so
know, yeah, the Beatles would be cool, but it's a little late
that
on
might be,
that one, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stick with Eddie Money. Just
Eddie Money, okay.
Yeah, and you can go and
I'll
you know,
Google
look
it
him up
right
on-
after the video. See, kind of. Well, I hope he's on Spotify, so he's like top
Oh, I'm
tracks.
sure.
For
You know, it's Eddie Money, Rick Springfield. You know, yeah.
I'm awful with music in general. So if you take me back to before the 2000s, I'm even worse.
No good. Okay.
I
all right.
maybe can tell you 5 people.
Well, so you're asking people this
Yeah.
question so that you can build up your playlist, so that
At the same time, yeah, and I really wonder if somebody's actually going to get it. I have no idea who it is.
right.
So I want to see if at the end somebody will actually have gotten it right. So
Well,
there's no
interesting
prize,
to see.
unfortunately.
No
But I'm
prize.
sure we'll find something.
I thought maybe I'd get a VIP ticket if Eddie Money shows up. So.
I'm sure I'll try and convince them of that.
Talk
By
to
the way,
Jeff Deeper
Mark
about
said
that.
it first. Mark called it. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mark.
You're
It's
welcome.
almost lunch, and a few more sessions are starting. So I'll let you go back.
Oh,
And
it's great to chat.
looking forward to see you.
Yeah, well, can't wait to see you in Vegas, and
Yeah.
we'll be having a good time.